Hello, everyone. Hello. We're just starting to get some people rolling in here, but welcome to today's webinar. We're excited. We'll get started here in about 2 or 3 minutes. Just give some more people some time to join us here. Welcome again, everyone. See a couple more people popping in, and we'll get started here in about 1 or 2 minutes as we give some people some more time to load into this thing. Shout out to everybody at USD. It was great talking with you guys the other day, and hopefully you guys are excited to hear from some great companies today. Glad you're all able to join us. Thanks, Matt, for bringing everybody on. All right, we're gonna get started here. I know we still got a couple more people popping in, but for the sake of everybody's time and respecting that, I just want to introduce everything here. So welcome everyone. My name is Tyler Santos, and I'm the Senior Director of Business Development here at the National Sports Forum. I'm delighted to welcome you all to today's webinar, New Innovations in Sports Business Technology, in which we will have 3 different organizations touch on what is new in sports business technologies and how they can help other organizations maximize their business. These 3 organizations, Trajectory, Havrion, and Awareity, all participated in and were declared winners of the NSF Tech Tank competition this past February. Trajectory was the winner of our corporate partnership and brand activation flight. Havrion won the marketing and fan engagement session, while Awareity came out on top in the ticket sales and service category. Kicking us off today will be our corporate partnership and brand activation winner, Trajectory. Trajectory helps the world's biggest brands evaluate their sponsorship impact. They have helped solve the variety of data and reporting issues that plague teams, leagues, events, and agencies in the areas that are most crucial to local revenue growth in sports sponsorship. Trajectory's data management tools help groups better activate sponsorships and save time with automated data cleaning technology, as well as provide unparalleled insights with advanced real-time demographic and proprietary valuation methodologies. Alex Kerr, the CEO and founder of Trajectory, is here today to share some more about their solutions. Alex, take it away.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. Thank you for the opportunity to chat today. As Tyler said, my name is Alex Kerr. I'm the CEO and founder of Trajectory. Share my screen here. Make sure this guy gets up on your screen. I think that's good to go. Before I jump in, I think one of the things that I'd like to add some context to is where I think we're a little bit different as a company and as an organization is we're a company that is full of individuals that have sat in very similar seats to a lot of the people that work throughout the industry. So I actually cut my teeth at Monumental Sports and Entertainment. I helped build that initial business intelligence team over there. Got to see what it was like to do sponsorship and reporting, as well as a lot of the group that we now have assembled here at Trajectory. I've also worked on the agency side. I've worked on the brand side. So I think we all have a pretty unique understanding of the challenges that really plague a lot of this industry. And so at a high level, what do? So Trajectory helps the world's biggest teams, leagues, brands, and agencies maximize their sponsorship revenue, all with data. And at the beginning of this year, we surveyed a couple of our different brands that we work with, as well as a couple of our different teams, asking them, what's it like to get sponsorship data? So here's some of the feedback that we've gotten. The pro team, anonymous, we don't have the time or resources for every one of our partners. We can't pull reports consistently for even our biggest clients. You know, this is something that we hear quite a bit from a lot of the teams and a lot of groups that we work with. There's just not enough resources. It takes an incredible amount of time. This is certainly a problem that we hear again and again and again, even with these groups that have different types of resources. And then on the flip side, we asked our brands, how are they feeling And this one always makes me chuckle a little bit, but we invest in everything and no one can ever tell us what the bleep it's worth. LED, static signage, email, it doesn't matter, it's bull. And I think this certainly probably encapsulates how a lot of individuals feel. I know I felt this way when I was on the brand side, spending millions of dollars on sponsorship and getting very, very little value in return. So why does this frustration exist? A lot of this frustration exists because this is typically what has been reported on in the industry at large for the last decade, decade and a half, right? There are solutions out there for social, there are solutions out there for broadcast television. These are really important assets that you have to be able to report on. Absolutely no doubt. But part of the reason that this is an issue is that there are dozens of different types of sponsorship assets that are out there that are all value driving that your partners have or that you as a partner are spending cash on, right? There are thousands of hours being spent a year trying to clean data, structure data, make sense of the data, repull the data. If anyone's ever touched an Excel spreadsheet that had to do with sponsorship, you know what I'm talking about. And this is all effectively just to track those two assets of social and television. But the reality is this is really only about 15% of the overall sponsorship picture. So one of the things I like to say is if you were investing in a stock portfolio, would you make decisions based off of only 10 to 15% of the information? Probably not. And so what we've created at Trajectory is a cohesive platform that pulls in all these disparate data sources, automates and regulates the reporting process so you're not spending thousands of hours a year spending time on reporting on this data and structuring it, so that you can track these dozen plus assets so you can get a lot closer to sponsorship nirvana by trying to actually report in real time on nearly 100% of your assets, as well as 100% of your partners themselves. And so you can effectively go from a world that looks like this and what everybody is used to today of social and just broadcast, to one that looks a lot closer to this. And so a lot of what we've built here is how do we build a better mousetrap for social and how do we build a better mousetrap for broadcast? Those are super important and we do those things extremely, extremely well and accurately. But how do we start to turn on the lights for everything else that exists within that sponsorship portfolio? And so again, coming back to I think where our take comes from is how do we actually build this, having understood the challenges that a lot of brands and agencies and teams are really feeling on a day-to-day basis. And so really telling the full story is where we've really tried to put our flag in the ground, is to say, if you want the best data backed by the best technology to help you maximize your sponsorship revenue, we're the ones to help both for properties as well as for brands, as well as for agencies. We have a number of different pillars, but I think the one that I really want to dive into here, which I think is really important to call out, is the idea of building a system that's really intuitive, right? So data nerds like me, as the t-shirt shows, we can dive really, deep into the data and the information and come up with insights, but how do we empower non-data savvy people to be able to feel empowered to pull their own data so that they can talk knowledgeably and really transparently about this information back to their partners? And that was really an aha moment for me, was how do we empower non-data savvy individuals to feel like they're data nerds along with the business intelligence teams? And that has been a really powerful thing that we work with a lot of our clients. Really quickly here to show you what this looks like. There's so much, we won't have time to unpack it. But the reality is how do we actually create a platform that really shows an overview, right? Break this down by day, week, month, a number of different consistent metrics across the board, engagements, impressions, value. But really the holy grail is how do we get to a point where you can report in real time on specific partners? See your entire sponsorship portfolio in a table or in a list view, all the value, the impressions and engagements that you're delivering. Or alternatively, pick an individual, any one of your partners that you have, drill down specifically into that partner across any date range and have that holistic report in real time throughout the season, understand how that value is breaking down, and have your top highlights ready there for you to be able to tell a better story back to your partners, right? So incorporating all the best technologies in a single platform to help you story tell value back to your partners. We also go a mile deep. It's not just about a mile wide, but if you wanted to track things that are historically eluded so much of the industry, this is an idea of an LED report, right? The entire LED report for your entire sponsorship portfolio. Dive specifically into a particular partner like Coca-Cola, get the entire Coca-Cola LED report for the entire season. The value, attendance, duration of your LEDs. We do this for a number of different assets, including your secondary digital, your emails where applicable, and you can dive in deeper. How do we pull this information in? Really visible content so you can see where your sponsors are showing up. And again, tell a very consistent story of value and impressions and engagements back to your partners. I mentioned social and I mentioned television. Again, we do both of these things extremely well, but really trying to give individuals the opportunity to very easily curate their data, dive in, understand what the most engaging content looks like for a particular partner or for their overall social team, or alternatively, because we're investing more on our back end for data, we have actually tracked every single professional organization across most of sport so that you can have competitive analyses that are just much more comprehensive, that can help you drive your acquisition strategies, help you drive your retention strategies, see how you're stacking up against your contemporaries from a value perspective or engagement perspective, or you can actually distill this view to any type of location, any type of partner, so that you can see, hey, what is your jersey worth, right? Who's leading from the number of engagements that they're actually leading. Last piece, again, so much to unpack here, but also what we're doing with television, right? Millions and millions of smart devices and households that we're tracking, a much larger data set than most organizations and competitors have out there. But what it really comes down to is how do we give insights both on the local as well as national as well as away markets. So you can drill down into any particular game on a minute by minute basis, understand how viewership is changing, what that viewership looks like in a local market versus an away market. And this has been really important because this has helped us, drive teams to say, hey, we're going to move your sponsorship from the second inning to the ninth inning because we're seeing viewership spike later in the game. So it's really making you an expert in your domain and really improving your credibility with your current partners as well as the ones that you're going out and acquiring to drive revenue. The other piece, and one of the things that we found out when we were doing pressure tests is that a lot of vendors in the marketplace today have a very static valuation method. They say 1 million impressions in New York are equal to 1 million impressions in Idaho. And the reality is nothing could be further from the truth. That is crazy to say that, right? These markets are very different. Demographics are very different. So how do we create a better methodology and actually be really open and clear about it, right? Instead of being black box, we want to be glass box about how our valuation methodology works to improve the credibility around the industry. And so how do we start to take a blended method where we can take the dynamic media rates that your brands and typical agencies are used to seeing within certain markets? How does that change based on the market and based on the asset itself? For all the logo detection that we apply across the board, how do we also take into account clarity, location, time on screen, share screen for anyone that's worked in with a logo tech vendor, similar in that respect. But then finally, because we've sat in these seats, we also understand all these other variables that typically fall by the wayside and never get accounted for. So things like exclusivity, right? If there is a premium being paid for an exclusivity in a sponsorship, why isn't that being taken into account? So having understood how this industry really works in and out, we start to build in variables that are really hyper specific to the organizations as well as to the brands, so that they can better measure and understand relative value in the market, across their entire sponsorship spend as well. And what this effectively leads to is we help save time, we help save money by retiring legacy spend, but we really help drive that revenue at the end of the day through better acquisition efforts, as well as retaining your partners at the end of the day, or retaining the areas in which you're spending and placing your dollars, right? So the solutions that we've created are, we have the solutions for properties. We also have the same solutions for brands as well as for agencies too. So really trying to help democratize data through better insights and better information. Results certainly speak, but I think, what I really want to highlight here is by the nature of being an organization and company that just tracks more, we have more data accessible to us than virtually anybody else out there. But what it really matters at the end of the day is, does this data help you drive revenue, right? And that's really at the end of the day how we are partnering with so many different teams, leagues, agencies, and brands, really helping them optimize that spend, help with retention, and really drive revenue at the end of the day. And I think there's no better result than seeing that when we're working with different types of clients. So ultimately, I'll sort of leave the group on this and open it up to Q&A. If you want the best data out there, again, backed by the best technology, all in an effort to maximize revenue through using and leveraging data, that's the true north that we're really trying to create as an organization. And again, having sat in these seats previously in our careers, I think we just have a really fresh and a unique take on what has historically, I think, eluded a lot of this industry at large. So with that, I'm happy to open it up to questions, and I'll look to our chat to see if anything has come across. All right, no questions so far, but if anything pops up, I'm certainly happy to answer.
Absolutely. And oh, here we go. We got one coming in here, Alex. How do you incorporate decision science into your platform?
Very good question. And I kind of feel like this is a loaded question because I didn't actually plant this question, but it is like the perfect tee up for where we're going with all of this. So coming down the road, that's a lot of what we're trying to explore. So we can lead a horse to water. We have a plethora of data to help individuals understand the decision-making process, but how do we actually help them to say, this is what, what levers you can pull to maximize revenue or maximize performance? A lot of that decision logic is exactly what's coming down our pipeline in terms of what we're trying to grow with our product. So it's not in platform yet. Typically what we do is we work with our partners. We have a really great CS team. So we help have those conversations throughout the year, white space analysis, where are there opportunities for you to have more sponsorship to grow revenue. A lot of that we do just with our CS team, but eventually what we're really trying to work towards is getting that exactly in platform. So not there yet, but something to come.
Are there any final questions for Alex in the chat? I'm not seeing any, but guys, if you have any questions for any of our presenters, whether it's Alex, oh, here we go. We got one coming in here from Matt Cacciato. Do you cover college athletics as well as pro athletics?
We do anything and everything that buys or sells sponsorship. So we work with a number of collegiate teams. We work with some of the larger groups that represent collegiate teams. So absolutely, hands down, that's our bread and butter. It slices, awesome. It dices, it does so much. So in any event, if anybody has questions, if the t-shirt says I'm a data nerd at heart, please, by all means, reach out to me with any further questions. And do we graph data science? That's a different topic. I could go down a couple different roads, but I'll stop there. But happy to answer any questions that anyone has in the follow-up.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Alex, for all the insight into trajectory. Thank you for answering those questions. We had some good ones come in. And guys, if you have any additional questions for Alex, like you said, please feel free to reach out to him, or you can put your questions in the chat box still. We can get back to them at the end of the presentation when we still have a little bit more time. But with that, again, Alex, thank you so much. And the next one that I would like to introduce would be Havrion, our marketing and fan engagement champion. Havrion connects people and technology to create more immersive experiences for every member of society. They aim to create innovative technologies that significantly enhance performance and protection through the interconnection of actions and outcomes on digital displays. Through customized integration plans and long-term strategies, Havrion works to align with their partners' business objectives through engagement and connection. Please give a warm welcome to Susan Grossweiler, the VP of Product and Operations at Havrion, to talk a bit more about their tools. Susan, the floor is yours.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Let's kick it off. Now, this is a story all about how stadium life got turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you a little bit about how we got there. In my day, I was born and raised to sit there and watch most of the game, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, doing the wave as the left field goes, woo! But times have changed, and change is good, so let's sit right back and see why Havrion rules. Sorry, I'm really cheesy. If you can tell, this is why we're the marketing winner side. Thank you so much, everybody. So let's dive right into Havrion. The classic days of communication and fan engagement are really rapidly evolving. No longer is just the smell of hot dogs, the seventh inning stretch, or the classic stadium wave enough to drive the desired outcomes of repeatable attendance and increased revenue. In today's sports environment, fans want more efficiency, more interactions, more than just the game. They want you to grab their attention and bring a sense of awe. And where the game is still at the heart of a stadium experience, we have to recognize that there's so much more to what stadium and arenas have to deliver on a daily basis to continue engagement and fan returns. So you are tasked with finding technologies that can be introduced that are affordable, scalable, and reliable and supports your desired outcomes for operations, revenue, and most importantly, the fan experience. Havrion partnered with Samsung, have faced these challenges straight on, and we have done so through using digital displays and using them in ways that go beyond and now and into the future. I am sure it's not surprised that digital displays are at the forefront of empowering these engagements, whether it's dynamic advertising, operational efficiency, live stream game coverage, or safety. Displays provide a gateway to so many different experiences within a stadium that need to be orchestrated, precise, and timely, or the moment can miss you as well as the revenue. Today, we're going to tell you a quick story about how Havrion supports your industry and, more importantly, your desired outcomes across multiple displays of your corporation. From the moment a fan and guest arrives and heads toward the gate, they're looking to be immersed in your game day experience. From your entry navigation and your game day experience, from entry flow, as well as your environment. You need to do unexpected surprises, like my 4-year-old always says, "Do you see that, mommy?" moments. Havrion has multiple solutions that help you accomplish all of these different things that I've gone over, which take place in a single day inside your facilities. We start our story off with building a base of connecting through a robust content management system provided by Samsung's Magic Info. Once we have that base layer of connection, now we need to start to engage and support your fans. So our next chapter centers all around the next generation of IPTV solutions, Havrion TV, powered by Samsung. With our most current debuts in last year's season at Citi Field and other of the world's largest retailers, Havrion TV is changing the game when it comes to IPTV delivery. This advanced IPTV solution brings a clean, modernized approach to IPTV delivery natively on Samsung's Tizen SSP app. But don't worry, it still works on other displays as well. With Havrion TV powered by Samsung, you start out being able to manage stream performance across multiple displays through a hybrid cloud management portal. You then enjoy advanced display synchronization technology and a system that supports all modern streaming protocols. As well as Havrion TV delivers a high-level performance, low-latency stream technology for all UHD and FHD displays. Havrion TV has been characterized in the market as offering a fast, fluid, native, and highly engaging experience to fans. And while the fan experience is driving this conversation today, let's not forget about the people behind the curtain managing all of those operations to make your game day the best it can be. So Havrion TV is supported by a clean, modernized UI portal, the Havrion Hub, where you have full control over remote control setup and support, closed captioning, ad insertion, live video ad play, configuration creation for multiple playlists throughout your facilities, time delays, a fully customized menu guide, remote, as well as branding options. Additionally, we have APIs to integrate into existing technology environments to place things in contact and integrations with their broadcast booths, such as Ross. From there, when the software combo is provided out among Samsung's SoC displays, there's no additional hardware. That's right, no additional hardware. So you can have IPTV delivery on a Samsung screen of SoC in your facility. You don't need set-back boxes. You don't need cable boxes. It is all a new simplified approach to delivering these services and bringing more value to your investment around digital displays in your environment. So it's easy to just hang the display, power it on, and connect to the network, and you're off and running. Now, the next part of this story is, again, advancing your use of these digital display investments. So we have also tied in Havrion's Protect suite of products to layer on top of your IPTV and ad insertion delivery. Whether you're starting your safety modernization or already have components in place, Havrion can help create an immersive safety communication and rapid response system, utilizing the already existing technology you've invested in, but also filling in gaps and modernizing as you move forward. Alert focuses on activation through pull stations or more fluid activations through mobile applications. Our Connect solution within that takes over your full stadium and dives into critical life safety information right down to screen proximity. So whether you are in a concourse and need to know where to evacuate the closest, or help with mass herd to expand and get people out quicker, or to have them shelter in place in safe areas for weather and other incidents, Connect allows you to build that out on top of your digital displays throughout your environment. This all takes place within 6 seconds of being able to activate that system. Next, modernizing, and let's linking these things and taking the human element out of it. You're able to drive sensor technologies into this system, whether that's your fire detectors, weather detectors, gunshot, or environmental detectors. You can layer all this into Havrion's Protect suite of products and drive that AI-driven safety approach to your facility. Lastly, this all wraps up real nice into the Havrion Hub and our command portal. This is a real-time command portal showing where activation took place, how it took place, color coding around those different events, as well as a real-time timeline for you and first responders, and the option to connect these events directly out to 911 when needed. So you have an internal communication path, an external communication path, as well as management communication path, all tied up into this system. And it's as easy as just activating that module within our system. Oh, I forgot to hit my slides, didn't I? So the next, of course, is going to be our last chapter. And this is Havrion's newest Engage system. This technology layers onto the already diverse ecosystem Havrion helps build out and support in your facilities. This technology takes wayfinding of the past and brings your waytelling to the future. Start adjusting your in-house content delivery in real time based off Wi-Fi data analytics. Make your data work harder for you and don't let that moment pass. Increase ad viewing of your sponsors, driven fully by stadium takeovers, of knowing and understanding your environment through Wi-Fi signals or other sensor integrations to allow you to understand and read in real time your flows, your dwell, and the movement of the people within your facility. Havrion's AI-driven rule engine can take an existing data feed or new data feeds if you want to introduce some of those and push out desired content switching based on your desired outcomes. So it's a really amazing new product that we have launched out that's really going to bring your space to life. And no longer are you taking this data and making changes for the next day. You're now taking this data and making rules to impact that day to get the most financial impact out of that game day experience and the people within your facility. So let's quickly just go through a quick recap of how Havrion can create a winning partnership. We have, of course, enterprise solutions. These are going to be modern development, multi-display use cases, and we have multiple displays that layer on and create a great trifecta of improved efficiency around your display use and your investments of displays in your stadiums. Next, you're going to have the fact that it is cloud-based. No infrastructure needed, which again is also going to save you money, but it also allows you to manage anywhere and anytime and up to hundreds of thousands of displays. From here, it's scalable, right? So you can start out with IPTV in your ad. You can then scale this out to allow for the Protect solution, the control room integrations, and then that new data and that data analytics integration. From there, of course, we went over how cost effective this is, removing all of that interior wiring and extra hardware. And then, of course, just taking that original investment of displays and layering these solutions on in such a unique and simple way. From there, of course, we're going to help drive more revenue channels. No more are you set to a very dedicated schedule of this is when your sponsors are going to be showing their advertising. You're going to be able to do those additional asks of, full stadium takeovers when there's a home run, or, there's a 7th inning stretch that you wanted to do something slightly different in different areas, like your suites versus your main bowl. You're going to be able to drive all these extra revenue generating sponsorships, as well as all the data and analytics that go along with that, so that you understand how many times these are running, the length of those, if they got cut off because there was a delay, or not delay in the game, but a delay because maybe they went away and did a full screen video. And then from there, of course, the whole immersive fan experience for all of these different solutions. And then lastly, of course, adding in that fire layer of protection, seeing that is still so important when we're looking at all the technologies we introduce into a stadium. So with Havrion's advanced technology powered by Samsung, your fans can now better experience the moment, and you can better create them. Thank you.
Awesome, Susan. Thanks so much for sharing all that. Looking to the chat to see if there's any questions that have popped in outside, of course, when we're going to be getting your debut rap album.
Yeah. You noticed I expanded the rap for this one just for you.
You did a great job, as always.
By the end of the year, I'll have the whole song.
Awesome. Well, I'm not seeing any questions popping up in the chat right now, but if any do come in, again, we'll get to them at the end. Chat, if you guys have any questions for Susan, please feel free to throw them in there, and we will make sure that they all get answered. But again, Susan Grossweiler from Havrion, thank you so much for that presentation. Oh, it looks like we got one popping in here last second before we move on. How do you cater your platform to adapt for various data privacy laws?
So our platform is very simple in the way that it gathers data analytics. It works off the Wi-Fi signal already established in the buildings, and it's not looking at people's actual IP. It's just reading the fact that there is an entity of a digital device. And then we do a little bit of deduplication in there, and then we're able to actually say that there's this many people in this space for this long, and then you drive rules around that then can change the content in front of them. So we definitely can set up some time to talk a little deeper on that, but hopefully that gives you a little idea that we've definitely made sure that we do not get into any of the data privacy issues with how we've structured the system.
Awesome. Very nice. Looks like we got one more coming in here. Can you push this outside of the venue?
Yeah, so our systems easily scale to multiple locations across the nation. One of our largest customers, which is one of the biggest box retailer in the world, we scale this out to all of their facilities, stores, and distribution plants across the country. And it's all under one hub. So their HQ can actually manage all of this and all these different solutions with one person in that team across that network. So know that, yes, we're talking about a single stadium today, but this easily scales to incorporate any facility or multiple facilities that you need to manage.
Very, very nice. Thank you again, Susan, so much. We're going to move on to the next one, but if we see any more questions come in, of course, we will be sure to get to them at the end. Last but certainly not least today, we are going to have Awareity, who is our ticket sales and service winner. Awareity is a marketing technology company that delivers highly targeted banner ads and connected TV advertising, helping to drive ticket sales and support sponsor activations. Awareity's 200+ sports and entertainment partnerships include the NBA, WNBA, USL, MILB, NCAA, and more. Awareity's digital platform delivers the most efficient targeted advertising in the industry with complete transparency and trackable results. Today, we have Andy Milovich, the CMO of Awareity, to speak more. Milo, the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you. I am unable to share my screen.
Melody, does Andy have the opportunity to share your screen? He should be a panelist host, right?
There we
Yeah,
go.
Andy, you should be good to go now. Sorry about that.
I was going to say, Susan, hurry up and give us another wrap to buy us time.
I'm ready. You just let me know.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody's time today. I'll be short and sweet here. I got a couple of slide decks I want to share before doing a quick product demo for you. I learned a stat while serving on the ticketing committee for minor league baseball before the pandemic, and they cited a statistic that 80 to 85% of single game ticket buyers of a major league baseball ticket do not buy a ticket the following year. And in minor league baseball, the numbers are just as bad, if not a hair worse. It certainly shook up everybody in the room, but it alerted me to some of the challenges that I had in the 30 years I spent on your side of the desk, trying to drive revenue and attendance growth for the franchises that I ran around the country. Awareity was founded by a former engineer with PepsiCo who got his MBA at marketing, came back to the brand side. And as the marketing world fragmented to the point where small businesses had a tough time reaching their target customers and building awareness locally, he saw a line of sight to take his love and passion for technology and process and streamline some of the digital tools that were available exclusively to large agencies and Fortune 500 companies, and make them available to small businesses for as little as $2.99 a month. And that's a price point that we still maintain today. A lot of tech and automation went into this. And before I do a product demo, I thought I'd touch on a couple of things that are different about our approach to programmatic advertising and some of the challenges that the industry faces. Most everybody in the programmatic space requires you to buy at DMA levels with a one-size-fits-all approach. Tracking ROI is difficult. Fragmentation makes it difficult to manage for a small staff or an organization with small resources. There's privacy concerns, challenges around cookie erosion, creative hours from agencies get billed separately. There's long-term contracts, retainers, and fees. And our mission is to eliminate all of that and to democratize world-class advertising. The process by which we buy your advertising is built on an AI-based DSP optimizer that we've built. We work with you to identify who your target audience is, and then we go granular and allow you to go down to the zip code level on where we execute your campaigns, so we can align that with where your ticket buyers come from, instead of forcing you to buy at a DMA level. And working with Quantcast, when I ran the Frisco Rough Riders here and partnering with Awareity, I would be forced to buy the entire DFW Metroplex. And the reality is, as much as I would love for somebody to drive from Fort Worth to watch a AA baseball team in Frisco, it's just not the norm. Not to say some people won't, but the vast majority of the audience comes from Collin County and a slice of Denton County, which represents 1/6 of the market. So a DMA level buy effectively wastes 80 to 85% of my ad spend. So we work with you to analyze your ticket sales data, determine where we want to focus our effort, and go from there. And then we let the AI read hundreds of millions of data points across 53 ad exchanges every day to optimize our bidding based on website quality, based on viewability, based on CPMs, and deliver media more efficiently than any human media buyer could. And we execute those media buys across the websites that your fan base goes to every day, and in delivering connected TV, non-skippable 30-second streaming commercials specifically to your target audience. And at the end of the day, it's about reaching the right people, the right number of times with a compelling message, and driving that down funnel activity. And so every step of the way, we're focused on how do we eliminate that waste, hit those people more efficiently, and stretch the ROI and the impact of your marketing spend. And so we're perfect for small businesses, small teams, small organizations, but we work beyond the sports world with companies like 7-Eleven, NTT Data, ESPN Events, Burger King, and so forth. One of the tools that we launched last year that I'm going to share, and I think this specifically was created to address some of the challenges around that 80 to 85% figure that Major League Baseball Advanced Media shared, is a tool called CRM Connect, where we can ingest a CSV list from your CRM, match devices to those data points. So cell phone numbers, physical address, email address, etc. We can match devices to those data points and serve ads directly to that audience. So if you take a big market like DFW, we can set a primary focus for our prospecting campaigns in certain zip codes where we want to do a lot of prospecting. We can also pull in their CRM list, which can be segmented. So baseball enthusiasts can be served ads that focus on baseball. Kids Club members can receive ads that are related to fireworks nights and Kids Day activities. Thirsty Thursday audience can get ads specifically related to the Thirsty Thursday activities and things of that nature. So it's like pulling the needles out of a haystack, matching those devices and serving ads directly to the specific audience with messaging that's relevant to their specific buying history and interest. So it's an incredibly efficient platform from that respect. I'm going to pause there and drop the deck. And I want to shift gears and showcase our actual product demo and what it is that we do and what that process of onboarding looks like. As I mentioned, our mission is to make this really simple, efficient, and easy. Our clientele ranges from small teams spending $2.99 a month in a college with bat league to AAA teams, NBA teams, Power 5 conferences, smaller schools, Division II, you name it. We bring on people as soon as you enroll. We've created a simple onboarding process that all revolves around Awareity Campaign Central. When you log in, within 1 day, we build your campaign strategy. Anytime there's something to do, you get pinged with an email. You can click the link, log in, and you can review your campaign strategy. I'm going to show you something that focuses exclusively on the banner ad side. It provides a layer of trackability, or a level of trackability rather, that's significantly greater than connected TV. It's what the majority of our sports clients are focused on because the trackability side of it is so important to them. And in this dashboard, you can schedule new flights, you can add connected TV, you can adjust budget numbers. We detail the budget by tactic or the budget by month for you. You can see the targeting approach that we take and what that campaign strategy involves. We're building awareness amongst their general population and the zip codes where they're focused. We're heavying those up in priority zip codes. And what we've done, rather than relying on that third-party data that so many people do that triples or quadruples the cost of your CPM compared to Awareity, is we've curated lists of websites around different audience profiles to reach them in a more affordable way. So you can see those full list of websites that we use to reach sports enthusiasts. You can take those websites away. You can add websites and type in domains of your own. You've got flexibility to control where we place you. If we want to reach B2B customers and people that are more affluent, we have a separate list of websites to reach that audience. They're using CRM Connect to reach their folks from their database. And we have websites that over-index with moms. We're targeting people for Thirsty Thursday crowd on different websites related to singles and dating. And then we're remarketing to their website visitors. You can see the zip code focus where we're running, what that customer description looks like, and how we're going to showcase that brand when we go to market. We make it simple and easy. You can supply your own creative, drag and drop that, or you drag and drop your creative assets. We match the look and feel of your website using your assets to match the hierarchy of messaging that we established. From there, we build your creative. You can see creative that they have supplied. If I scroll down, you'll see what we build. Everything we build is animated HTML5 creative. A lot of people that work in this space are going to talk to you about clicks and how important clicks are. Clicks are great when you're talking about paid search campaigns. When you go to ESPN.com or the WallStreetJournal.com, whatever it is websites you go to, very rarely do people intentionally click ads on that. And static ads don't draw your attention because you're there to read content. The animated HTML5 that we create and include helps drive more attention and make that impression work a little bit harder for it. So you can see a sample of what we've built for them over the course of this season to market their general campaign as well as Thirsty Thursday messaging. We give you pixels to place on the main header of your website and a conversion pixel to place with your ticketing provider to measure impact. And then lastly, we give you your campaign performance with complete transparency. You can look at this by month, you can look at it and this will update daily. You can aggregate multiple months together. This all pulls straight from the DSP, which is the demand side platform where all of the inventory that exists on websites around the globe exists for auction in a real-time bidding environment. You can share this, you can download it, you can schedule time to review. You can grab a snapshot of that banner ad campaign, see the number of impressions delivered on a daily basis. You can switch this to clicks and total conversions. If we were reporting connected TV here, you'd see that there. You can look in here and you can take a look at a heat map that breaks down where your impressions, where your conversions are being delivered. You can sort this by tactic. You can hover over each individual zip code to see your performance by zip code location. You can download a full report of everything that you've done here. And then what I love is the table that provides performance on a tactic by tactic basis. You can see the spend by tactic, the impression, CPMs, unique reach and frequency of each tactic, and then the conversions and revenue associated with each tactic. And the goal here is to give you the opportunity to see what's performing and what isn't, adjust those knobs and levers and turn it up or down based on whether a tactic is performing or not. Lastly, we're going to break down performance by creative. So if you want to A/B different creative types, if you want to test different creative to different tactics, you can do so. We report banner ads by device and performance by device, whether it's banner ads or CTV. I mentioned clicks being one of the most overrated statistics in advertising. As you can see here, we delivered 2.7 million impressions via desktop, 437 clicks, and 606 conversions. Clicks on 40% less impressions delivered 2x the number of clicks, and the conversion numbers are still relatively close. We give you a breakdown on media comparison, what it would cost to achieve the same number of impressions across other media types. And then we give you a breakdown of the top 10 domains by tactic. So if you want to see where we're reaching your visitors from your website, you can see exactly where we're reaching those people when we serve them remarketing ads. So at the end of the day, whether you have a monthly budget of $299, $5,000 or $20, it's about maximizing the impact of your ad spend and making sure that we're hitting the right saturation levels to the right people and delivering you the transparency that allows you to make real-time decisions to optimize your marketing dollars and how you allocate them. Any questions?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andy. Looks like we have one question here in the chat already. It says, curious as to what percentage of your clients are outside of sports?
What percentage of clients? The interesting thing is we're probably about 50-50 sports and traditional businesses right now. We have over 200 partners in the sports world. Ironically, when I joined as a client in 2019 with the Rough Riders, I was the 5th partner in sports. I met him at one of his first sport, which was Conference USA at their basketball reception. We are now over 200 partners in sports, ranging from the NBA to college wood bat leagues.
Awesome. And as we see if any more questions trickle into the chat, there is one more part that I will add that Andy did not mention. One more small case study, that would be us here at the NSF. We got the opportunity to work with Awarenity leading up to the 2023 forum this year. And, Andy talked a lot about how it works best a lot of times with, small teams. And here at the NSF, we are a small team, believe it or not. There's only 8 or 9 of us running around at any given time. And we definitely saw some great results working with Awarenity. And I know that our marketing team is excited to see where that could lead and, just continuing to grow our attendee base in that way. And it looks like we got one more question here too as well for you, Andy. It says, do you work with digital outdoor media?
So we do not currently have that in there. We offer 2 things right now, the connected TV and the display campaigns. We are engaging with a couple of companies that would offer programmatic out of home and looking at some other options that would bring paid search and social into our platform and dashboard as well. That's probably not going to land on our finished product for the next 6 months or so. But it is something we have a line of sight to continue to expand our offerings. The other thing I'd mention, Tyler, is we have people beginning finally, which we've talked to some folks about, incorporating this into the sponsorship activation piece. If you're looking for ways to leverage this with your fan base and sponsors and specific offerings, there's some unique opportunities to integrate that as well.
Absolutely. Multiple avenues to reach people though is a good thing, right? That's the goal, and getting everybody, as many eyes as possible, as you mentioned. Awesome. Well, in that case, it looks like we don't have any more questions here in the chat, but I just want to say thank you so much to Andy, to Susan, to Alex for their time today and for sharing more about what new technologies are available in the industry. As we mentioned before, these are some of the best organizations out there for new sports business technology. So please feel free to connect with them after the webinar to see how they can help you with your ticket sales, marketing, or corporate partnership needs. Some final housekeeping notes here from our end. The next event on the NSF calendar is going to be our virtual hosted buyer expo. That'll be taking place July 17th through the 21st. During the expo, the NSF will be providing a platform to connect vendors and service suppliers with a roster of 50 plus executives from 40 different organizations for 20-minute one-on-one meetings. This will be the third annual expo. We've quickly seen it become one of our most popular events for both the vendor side and team side participants. Meeting packages are available through next Friday, June 23rd, and can even be bundled into sponsorship packages for either the virtual fall summit in September or the 2024 forum. If you're interested in learning more about that, you can contact myself at tyler@sports-forum.com, and either myself or another member of our business development team can assist you with setting up some meeting packages. But with that all being said, thank you again so much to everybody for joining today's webinar. Thank you to our panelists, and we hope to see you all again soon. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.